Alright, so this is a fun short notice replacement fight for sure. I had a lot of fun looking into this one. It's Kamaka versus Danny Chavez. So, Danny, he's got a 1 inch height advantage, but Kamaka has a 2 inch reach advantage. Alright, so break down the strike into these two. So for Chavez, he's got fast hands, and so does Kamaka. They both have very fast hands. Uh, Danny generally likes to fight off the back foot, tries to walk you onto his counters. Kamaka likes to take the front foot, so I think they know their roles in this fight here. For Chavez, his boxing combinations, they're often used as counters. He's not really looking to be offensive with his boxing. Well, he's not looking to proactively put combinations together and start leading with his boxing too often. It's mostly he's looking for that check right hook, or check left hook, sorry. And he does keep his head on center line when he is throwing. And as I said before, Kamaka, he does have fast hands and he has nice hands. And he uses boxing a little bit more offensively than Chavez. Kamaka, he does have a nice counter 1-2, nice counter 2. And Chavez, as I said before, when he's throwing his shots, he's keeping the head on the center line. So his head's got to be there for that counter 2, that counter 1-2 from Kamaka. But Kamaka, with that boxing heavy style, he's quite heavy on the lead leg. He is okay at getting the lead leg out of the way, but still very heavy on the lead leg, and he's going to want to be advancing in this fight. And Chavez, he has very good low calf kicks. He likes to attack the low calf a lot in the first round. I think he's trying to destroy the foundation of his opponent, try to, chop the wood down or whatever the saying is, and then, work his hands from there. But he's got very powerful low leg kicks. But the problem with Chavez is that he backs up. He's constantly backing up, and he's constantly backing up onto the fence. If you feint him a lot, he's biting on feints. He's constantly backing up. He's constantly looking for that check left hook. So if you're constantly feinting him, he's going to be showing you that check left hook, and then you can pick your entries from there. And he's backing up because he's so focused on those counter opportunities. He's constantly looking for the counter shot. So he needs space for those counter opportunities, or he's trying to walk you onto them. But, in that smaller octagon, he's backing up onto the fence, more and more, and it just comes up on him quicker. If you trap him against the fence, he kind of just starts swinging. He abandons the kicks. He just starts swinging like haymakers. So if you got him near the fence, just watch out for the haymakers. But it is manageable when you do have him near the fence. One tendency that Chavez does have as well is that he will lean heavy to his right when the opponent closes distance, like pretty much clockwork, like he does it every time. Because he's always looking for that left hook, so he's leaning to his right to throw that, or that's just where the momentum takes him when he's still on the left hook. And that could also open up the left hook of his opponent. Kamaka has a decent left hook. He usually likes to throw the left hook to the body though, which could be open here for sure, as Chavez is leaning to his right, but I think the left hook up top would probably be a better weapon. For Kamaka, he isn't great defensively. He will wade into range just without being defensive at all. He just kind of doesn't have the greatest range understanding. He often gets caught in boxing range. Like he just kind of walks into boxing range without being defensive or just being prepared. And he gets caught. But Chavez, he will square his stance near the fence, and I think that could open up the takedowns of Kamaka. Kamaka has a decent double leg on the fence. Chavez, he's very good at getting the double unders and then shucking off, and he's got a very strong underhook game. He's quite strong with his takedown defense. But if you do get him down, he kind of just locks his guard on bottom and doesn't have too much off his back. He has offensive wrestling as well, does Danny Chavez. He has a nice driving double to a knee tap to finish that off. Kind of drives to it, uses athleticism to help him out for sure. And Kamaki does go for that stupid guillotine to defend double legs. I don't know if he's ever got a submission. He might have one. I don't think it's a guillotine, but yeah, he does that stupid guillotine to defend double legs. It's just a really bad. It's not what you want to do. You want to get underhooks. But he will give his back to get up, does Kamaka, so something to watch out for. Not sure if Danny has a submission in his career as well, but it's something that can burn him in the future. If Kamaka gets on top, he's not very dangerous. He just kind of holds on when in top position, doesn't really look to advance, doesn't look to posture up too much and throw ground and pound. He just looks to hold on and just throw a right hand every now and then, but he's not too dangerous on top. How these guys win fights? For Kamaka, he's well-rounded. For Chavez, he's got good takedown defense and nice leg kicks. How these guys lose fights? So for Chavez, it's the striking tendencies, mostly the backing up part, and the predictability part. But also he has subpar get-ups. For Kamaka, subpar takedown defense and slows after 7 minutes in high-paced fights, which is the only way he fights. He fights at a crazy pace. And honestly, I'd imagine Chavez would gas too if Kai brings his usual pace to this one. I'm expecting Chavez to feel it as well. I'm expecting it to be a dogfight, honestly. Pass to victory for these two. For Kamaka, it's the pressure. Bring in the pressure. Don't give him space for his kicks. Back him onto the fence. Don't give him space for those low leg kicks. They're too dangerous, and you're too heavy on your lead leg to take too many. Look for feints though. Feints to draw out that counter left hook of Chavez, and then you can look for your entries. But also the counter 2, the counter 1-2. As I said before, his head doesn't move when he's throwing all of his punches. Low calf kicks. He doesn't check them as well, so you can mix in your own low calf kicks. For Danny Chavez, low calf kicks for sure. And don't just back up onto the fence. Try and get some respect. Don't just back up onto the fence. Look to push him forward, push him backwards a little bit as well. For Chavez, mix in takedowns. He doesn't have the best takedown defense. Look to grab that back body lock when he gives it to get back to his feet. Also look for mat returns once you do grab that back body lock. For Kamaka, look to mix in the takedowns as well. Look for the double leg on the fence when he squares his stance, and just be active in top position. Don't just hold on and let the ref stand you up, but just be active. How I see this one going? So Kamaka, he has a similar style to Choi, Do Hui Choi, which is who Danny Chavez was expecting to face. He's also a boxer who likes to fight off the front foot. He's definitely an inferior striker to Do Hui Choi. But Kamaka does bring in that wrestling threat where Choi didn't really, and Chavez didn't have to worry about that. In my opinion, I think Kamaka has the better hands. I think he's going to be tagging Danny a lot as Chavez is leaning back. Chavez could catch him with one of his tight hooks, but I think Kamaka will be landing a lot more as well. According to UFCstats.com, Chavez lands around, I got the numbers here actually, so 2.93 strikes per minute, whereas Kamaka lands 5.63 per minute. So Kamaka undoubtedly the more active party. I do have my doubts about Kamaka's chin though. He gets rocked quite frequently. Chavez does have power, but both these guys have very exploitable strike and defense. But I would say Chavez does have the chin advantage in that respect. I think the leg kicks of Chavez are going to play a big part here. Kamaka hasn't had too much time to develop a game plan around the leg kicks of Chavez. On tape, I've never seen him check a kick. Do Hui Choi is very good at shuffling his lead leg out of the way to avoid leg kicks. So I didn't think Chavez would have too much success with the leg kicks in that matchup. But Kamaka, on the other hand, he doesn't really do too much defensively against leg kicks. Also, he's very heavy on the lead leg with that boxing heavy style. He just seems to kind of eat them on tape. But if Kamaka comes in with that heavy forward pressure style and keeps Chavez backed up against the fence like Jared Gordon did, then Chavez won't have the space that he needs to throw his kicks. So I think it would be good for Kamaka, and I think that's what he needs to do. I don't think it's what he should do, I think it's what he needs to do. But, good visuals too. If Kamaka is the one going forward, keeping Danny on the fence, Kamaka likely fighting for his job too, so you probably want to leave it all out there. I think you're going to have to come forward and you're going to have to keep Chavez backed up against the fence. You just can't stay at distance, keep eating leg kicks. You just can't do that. It's probably not going to be the most comfortable thing to do, but it's what you have to do, in my opinion. Both guys like to mix in takedowns. Kamaka goes to them more often, but Chavez has shown good takedown defense in the UFC, and Kamaka hasn't. It doesn't seem to be very hard to ground Kamaka. On the flip side though, Kamaka doesn't accept bottom position, and Chavez, it seems like he does when he does get taken down. Short notice is a little concerning to me for Kamaka, because he hasn't shown the best gas tank in the past, and I don't know what kind of shape he's in, because he didn't have a fight scheduled until a week ago. So who knows, probably in shape, or else he wouldn't accept the call. But also, is he going to be turning down too many fights when he's on a 2-fight losing streak? Probably not. He doesn't really have the leverage in the organization at the moment to do so. But yeah, it's just concerning. It's a very intriguing matchup though. I've been going back and forth on it all week. I think Kamaka has more ways to win, but if Chavez can get those leg kicks going early, then it's basically the fight. Like, that's going to be the fight, like, most likely. So yeah, we'll have a look at the betting lines. Alrighty, so if you guys could like the video, that'd be awesome. You know, a bit of work gets put into these videos, no doubt. So the prediction is Kamaka by decision. I ended up going Kamaka. I think he does win around, yeah. I think the line's basically correct at the moment. Yeah, line's probably correct. I'm talking about this line here, where he's a slight favourite. I think that's correct. I would bet Kamaka at a pick'em or a plus money. You know, his fighting style makes fights closer than they probably need to be, and it's probably going to be a very competitive and close fight. If Chavez gets the leg kicks going early and Kamaka's not checking them or not pressuring, then that's game. You know, I'd probably live bet Chavez if he gets like 3 leg kicks going early and Kamaka's just eating them. I'll just live bet him immediately. But Chavez, I was looking to bet him at $2.50 or plus 150. He's not really someone you want to bet as a favourite either, because the flaws in his game, and he's pretty easy to game plan around. But yeah, I think it's quite a competitive fight. It's very close. It's a good fight though. It's a great fight.